Hello, and welcome back to the PowerHab English channel. I'm genuinely thrilled and grateful to have you here with me today. Have you ever experienced that incredible burst of excitement and energy when starting something new, perhaps diving into learning English or pursuing a personal dream? But just a few days or weeks later, all that passion seems to disappear. You find yourself telling yourself, "I'll do it tomorrow." But tomorrow keeps slipping away. Again and again. If this story sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone, and that's perfectly okay. We all go through this. Maybe you watched a motivational video that fired you up, read a quote that really spoke to your heart, or made a strong promise to yourself to change or improve. But despite those moments of inspiration, the follow-through often fades. It's like lighting a bright, beautiful flame that quickly sputters and dies out before it can really warm you. So why does this happen so frequently? The answer is both simple and profound. Motivation by itself is not enough to create lasting change. In this video, we're going to dive deeply into a concept that can genuinely transform the way you approach your goals and your life. Understanding the difference between motivation and discipline. What really sets these two apart? Why does motivation feel so thrilling at the start, but often disappear just when you need it most? And most importantly, how can discipline become your secret weapon? The steady, reliable force that keeps you moving forward, no matter how tough the journey gets. This video is especially designed for you. Whether you are a student striving to improve your English, someone eager to grow your mindset, or simply a person dedicated to bettering your life step by step. Perhaps you've tried many times to stay consistent only to find yourself falling off track. Maybe you're waiting for the perfect moment, the ideal feeling, or some magical right time to begin your journey. But here's the honest truth: that perfect moment might never arrive. Waiting for it might only keep you stuck. That's why you need something much more powerful than fleeting motivation. You need discipline. Whether you're a passionate learner, a dreamer, a hardworking professional, or just someone committed to building a better future, this message is for you. Together, we're going to explore how discipline, this consistent, intentional practice, can keep you on track when your initial excitement fades. We'll also uncover how small, manageable daily habits add up over time to create big, lasting improvements in your English skills, your self-confidence, and your personal growth. So please stay with me throughout this video. By the end, you'll have a clear understanding of how to stop waiting for motivation to magically appear and how to start developing real habits that transform not just your English learning, but your entire life. Let's embark on this journey together. Let's make it meaningful, powerful, and absolutely real, because you deserve to live a life driven by purpose and progress, not just fleeting feelings. Let's get started. Let's start by taking a deeper look at what motivation truly means. Motivation is that powerful surge of excitement, enthusiasm, and energy that compels you to begin something new. It is the inner spark that ignites when you hear a compelling story, watch an inspiring video, or listen to someone share their journey of success and transformation. In that moment, you feel like anything is possible, like you have the power to change your life and achieve your goals. Imagine this: you watch a movie about someone who learned English and transformed their life completely. You feel that wave of inspiration wash over you. You tell yourself, "Yes, this is my time. I'm going to study English every single day." You wake up the next morning with renewed determination. For a few days, you actually follow through. You practice speaking watch lessons and jot down your goals. You feel confident, proud, and unstoppable. This is motivation at its peak, a vibrant force pushing you forward, filling you with hope and energy. However, here's the important reality: motivation is often at its strongest only at the very beginning. It's like a bright, powerful wave that crashes over you, giving you that initial push, that burst of courage to take the first step. It feels amazing, almost magical, like a rush of energy fueling your ambition. But motivation is also unpredictable and fragile. Just like the weather, it can change suddenly. One day, it's bright and sunny, flooding you with energy and passion. The next, it's cloudy, dull, and nearly impossible to find. You might wake up one morning feeling ready to conquer the world, excited to learn English. But the next day, you could feel drained, distracted, or simply not in the mood. As time goes on, that blazing flame of motivation begins to flicker, grow dimmer, and eventually fade away. This is where many people give up. They tell themselves, "I'm not motivated anymore." Maybe this isn't for me. But that's far from the truth. Motivation alone was never designed to be your constant companion on the journey to your goals. Think of motivation like gasoline that starts a car. It ignites the engine and gets you moving, but it cannot power you all the way to your destination. Without something more dependable, that initial spark will burn out, leaving you stuck in the same place, unable to keep moving forward. Let me share a common story to illustrate this. Imagine you decide to learn English seriously. On day one, you're full of excitement and energy. You download apps, watch educational videos, and write clear goals in your notebook. You feel like nothing can stop you. But then life's distractions creep in, responsibilities pile up, and before long, motivation begins to fade. It becomes a challenge just to open those apps or watch a lesson. You struggle to maintain your study routine. This is a normal experience, something nearly everyone faces. But here's the great news: motivation is only the start. To truly succeed and make lasting progress, you need something stronger, something steady and reliable that keeps you moving forward even when motivation disappears. That something is discipline. Discipline becomes your steady engine, your secret weapon that powers you through the days when motivation is absent or weak. In the rest of this video, we'll explore how you can build discipline, how it differs from motivation, and how creating small, consistent daily habits can help you achieve your goals in English learning and in life. So stay with me, because by the end, you'll have the tools to stop waiting for motivation to magically appear and start creating lasting change with the power of discipline. Day 2 still feels good. You're excited, motivated, and fully committed to your new goal. You follow your plan with enthusiasm, study diligently, and even feel a growing sense of pride and accomplishment. The energy is high, and everything seems possible. But then, as day 3 arrives, you begin to notice that your study time starts to shrink. Maybe you skip a practice session here and there, or you don't give it the same full attention you did on day 1. By day 4, something unexpected happens. You completely miss a study session or two. On day 5, guilt sets in. You feel a little disappointed in yourself, but you try to comfort yourself by saying, "I'll get back to it tomorrow." This cycle continues, and slowly, day by day, that initial surge of motivation slips away, fading into the background of your routine. This experience isn't unique to you, it's something millions of people go through. The reason it happens isn't because they lack willpower or don't care about their goals. It's because they were relying entirely on motivation to keep moving forward. Here's another example that many of us can relate to: the beginning of a new fitness journey. At the start of the new year, gyms are filled with people enthusiastically declaring, "This year, I'm going to get fit." For the first week or so, the atmosphere is electric. People are smiling, lifting weights, running on treadmills full of energy, hope, and excitement. The possibilities seem endless. But after 2 or 3 weeks, the initial energy starts to wane. the gym becomes quieter, and those crowds start to thin out. Why does this happen? Because their motivation, which was so strong at the beginning, has gradually worn off. Without a solid system routine or commitment to keep them consistent, once the thrill is gone, their resolve fades along with it. This pattern of motivation fading away isn't limited to fitness. It's the same story in learning a new language, starting a business, writing a book, or making any meaningful change in life. Motivation is heavily tied to our emotions. It depends on how we feel in that moment. Feelings, however, are fleeting like the weather. You might wake up in the morning feeling happy, energized, and ready to take on any challenge. But by the time evening arrives after a long and exhausting day, all you want is rest and relaxation. You tell yourself, "I'll do it tomorrow." And then tomorrow arrives with fresh distractions, new excuses, and suddenly that dream or goal you were so passionate about seems to drift farther away. This unreliability of motivation is why it's not a good idea to wait until you feel motivated before you start doing something important. If you only study English when you feel like it, or chase your dreams only when motivation strikes, your progress will be slow and unpredictable. You might even quit entirely. However, understanding the true nature of motivation, how temporary and unpredictable it can be, helps you stop blaming yourself when it fades. Instead, you can turn your attention to something more powerful, more stable, and more reliable: discipline. In the next section of this video, we will explore what discipline truly means and how it can become the unwavering force that keeps you moving forward, even when motivation is nowhere to be found. So next time you feel your motivation slipping away, remind yourself that this is a normal part of being human. Everyone goes through it. You are not weak, and you are not failing. You are simply experiencing the natural ebb and flow of human emotions. Remember, motivation is the spark that lights the fire, but discipline is the steady flame that keeps it burning strong. The key to success lies not in relying on motivation alone. It's completely natural and human to have days when you feel tired, discouraged, or simply unmotivated. But the most important thing is not allowing those feelings to stop you from moving forward. Because motivation, no matter how powerful it feels in the moment, is temporary. It's like a bright flame that can light your path but can also flicker and go out. Motivation ebbs and flows, coming in waves, sometimes strong and energizing, other times weak and hard to find. And when motivation inevitably fades, and it always does, there is something much steadier that you can rely on: discipline. Discipline is your anchor when motivation drifts away. It is the steady, reliable force that keeps you progressing even when you feel exhausted or uninspired. Discipline means committing to your goals and showing up day after day regardless of how you feel inside. It's about keeping the promises you make to yourself, even when life gets complicated, busy, or boring. When motivation disappears, discipline is what ensures you don't give up and that you keep moving forward. But what exactly is discipline? Discipline is not about being perfect or never making mistakes. It is about consistency and commitment over time. Think of discipline as brushing your teeth every morning and night. You don't wait to feel motivated or inspired to brush. You do it because you know it's necessary, and over time it becomes automatic, a non-negotiable part of your daily routine. That's discipline, quiet, steady, and powerful. Discipline is the backbone of every success story. Look at professional athletes as a perfect example. They don't become champions because they feel motivated every day. In fact, many days, they don't feel motivated at all. What drives them is their discipline: waking up early, adhering to strict training schedules, eating properly, and practicing relentlessly even when they're tired, sore, or facing setbacks. Their love for the sport fuels them, but discipline is what turns passion into achievement. The same is true for anyone learning English or developing any skill. It's not always about natural talent or motivation. The learners who succeed most are the ones who are consistent. They study, practice, speaking, listen, read, and write regularly, even when life is hectic or when they feel discouraged. It's this daily discipline that leads to gradual, meaningful progress. Consider the example of two readers. The first one starts enthusiastically reading hours every day at the beginning. However, once the excitement wears off, they stop reading entirely. The second reader decides to commit to reading just 10 pages daily, no matter what. Some days they feel energized, other days they are tired or distracted, but they stick to their commitment. After a month, they have read hundreds of pages. After a few months, several entire books. That steady, small effort is what discipline is about, not overwhelming yourself, but doing consistent, manageable work every day. Discipline also means making daily choices that align with your goals, even if they go against temporary desires or comfort. For example, you might want to watch a movie in your native language because it feels easier and more enjoyable, but instead, you choose to watch one in English. Why? Because you are committed to your growth-building habits that take you closer to your dreams and future success. Or maybe you find yourself tempted to mindlessly scroll through your phone for hours on end, getting lost in social media feeds, watching endless videos, or simply browsing without any real purpose. But instead of giving in to that distraction, you consciously decide to dedicate just 15 minutes to practicing your English vocabulary, speaking skills, or grammar exercises. These seemingly small decisions, when made consistently every day, accumulate over time and create profound, lasting changes in your life and learning journey. It's important to understand a key truth: discipline is not a trait you are simply born with. It is a skill, a muscle that you can develop, strengthen, and train just like your body. At first, building discipline may feel incredibly difficult. You may face moments when you want to give up, when the temptation to quit is strong, or when you feel overwhelmed by the challenges ahead. But the real secret lies in persistence. By showing up day after day, regardless of how you feel, discipline gradually becomes second nature. It becomes an automatic, natural part of your daily routine and identity. Remember, perfection is not the goal. You don't need to be constantly motivated or in the right mood to keep moving forward. Motivation will always fluctuate. It rises and falls like waves in the ocean. The key is to keep making progress even when motivation is low. This is precisely what successful individuals do. They commit to consistency over perfection. They understand that real lasting growth is not a sudden leap, but the result of steady daily effort sustained through discipline. So the next time you feel resistance or lack the drive to study English or work towards your dreams, remind yourself that discipline is what truly makes the difference. You don't have to wait for motivation to kick in. You only need to take that next small step, no matter how tiny it may seem. These small, steady steps, repeated day after day, will eventually lead to big achievements and a transformed life. Moreover, discipline is not just about building skills or knowledge. It's about becoming a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. It shapes your character, boosts your confidence, and empowers you to overcome obstacles. The habits you form through discipline become the foundation for success, not only in learning English, but in every area of your life. Now let's dive deeper into understanding the crucial difference between motivation and discipline. While both sound positive and encouraging, they operate on very different principles, and grasping this distinction can revolutionize how you approach your goals. First, motivation is inherently unpredictable and uncontrollable. One day, you might wake up feeling energized, inspired, and ready to conquer your challenges. The next day, you could feel drained, distracted, or simply uninterested, causing your motivation to evaporate. Discipline, on the other hand, is cultivated intentionally over time. It's not governed by your feelings or external circumstances, but by your commitment to a chosen path. Discipline means choosing to act consistently regardless of mood, energy, or enthusiasm. Think of motivation as an emotion-driven impulse. It's fueled by how you feel at any given moment. When you're happy or excited, you take action. When you're sad, tired, or discouraged, you tend to withdraw. Discipline flips this pattern. It's an action-based mindset where you decide to follow through with your plans, regardless of emotional highs or lows. It's the conscious choice to keep going, even when you don't feel like it. Motivation often arrives with a burst of excitement, hope, and enthusiasm that jumpstarts your journey. However, this emotional surge rarely sustains itself for long. Discipline, while it may feel challenging or even unpleasant at times, is what produces steady and meaningful progress. You might not always enjoy the hard work in the moment, but the satisfaction and pride you gain afterward far outweigh the temporary discomfort. Visualize motivation as the spark that lights the fire and propels you forward at the start. Discipline is the consistent fuel that keeps that fire burning bright, especially when the initial spark fades or external challenges arise. Imagine motivation as the wind that pushes a sailboat ahead. When the wind dies down, discipline is the engine that keeps the boat steadily moving toward its destination. Because motivation is so closely tied to your feelings, it can be very unreliable. You may feel incredible energy and determination one day, then find yourself completely unmotivated the next. Discipline, however, does not depend on how you feel. It relies on your mindset, the goals you've set, and the habits you cultivate. Discipline is steady, reliable, and consistent. It doesn't waver like emotions do. Another crucial point to understand is that motivation is inherently fragile. It can be strong and vibrant one moment, then vanish the next, especially when challenges or setbacks arise. Motivation tends to disappear quickly in the face of obstacles, fatigue, or distractions. Think of motivation like a spark. It can ignite a fire quickly, but often burns out fast, if not supported by something more substantial. On the other hand, discipline is a force that builds gradually and strengthens with consistent effort over time. Although developing discipline may feel difficult and even uncomfortable at first, those initial challenges are what shape it into an enduring habit that becomes an integral part of your identity. Let's break this down with some real-life scenarios to make it clearer. Imagine you've just decided to start learning English. The first day is full of enthusiasm. You're energized watching videos, taking notes, practicing pronunciation, and feeling unstoppable. The excitement feels limitless, and you are fully committed. However, by the end of the first week, that initial excitement fades. You might feel bored, overwhelmed by other responsibilities, or simply tired. Your motivation dwindles. Without discipline, it's easy to quit. But with discipline, you commit to studying for even just 10 minutes that day, regardless of how you feel. That consistent choice, even on tough days, is the key to making meaningful progress. Consider another example where your goal is to become fluent in English. Motivation might inspire you to purchase books, sign up for courses, or download learning apps. You begin with enthusiasm, dedicating several hours to study. But soon, life's demands interfere. Work pressures, family commitments, or health issues arise, and your motivation slips away. If you rely solely on motivation, you might give up entirely. However, with discipline, you choose to maintain your habit, telling yourself, "Today I will study for 10 minutes." This small but consistent effort, repeated daily, gradually builds a habit. After 30 days, your confidence improves. After 90 days, your skills become noticeably better. And after a year, you find yourself speaking English far more fluently than when you began, all because discipline kept you moving forward. Here's another relatable example: waking up early. Some mornings you might wake up feeling motivated, refreshed, and ready to seize the day at 5:00 a.m. You feel proud and energized. But the very next morning, the alarm rings in the cold, dark, early hours, and you feel sleepy and reluctant to get out of bed. Your motivation is gone. This is exactly when discipline kicks in. You get up anyway because you've made a commitment to yourself. You understand that progress requires showing up, even when it's uncomfortable, even when you don't feel like it. That choice made over and over is what builds resilience and success. This is why motivation and discipline both matter, but discipline is the foundation for long-term achievement. You can think of motivation as the initial match that lights a candle quick and bright, but short-lived. Discipline is the wax and wick that sustain the flame, allowing it to burn steadily through wind and darkness. Without discipline, the flame goes out as soon as the initial spark fades. So what does this mean for your own journey? Whether your goal is mastering English or improving other areas of your life, don't wait around for motivation to arrive. Use motivation when it's there. It's a wonderful boost, but rely primarily on discipline to keep moving forward when motivation falters. Make small, achievable promises to yourself every day and honor those commitments. Even dedicating 5 to 10 minutes daily to your goals builds momentum. Celebrate every bit of progress, no matter how small. And if you stumble or miss a day, don't despair, simply begin again. That persistence is where transformation happens. It's important to recognize that motivation and discipline serve different but complementary roles. Motivation is emotional and temporary. It depends on how you feel at a given moment. Discipline is about action and consistency, doing what matters regardless of mood or circumstance. This mindset shift from "I feel like it" to "I will do it" is the game changer. For English learners specifically, understanding this difference is crucial. If you want to improve your language skills, gain confidence in speaking, and truly open doors to new opportunities, discipline is your most powerful tool. Motivation may spark your initial interest, but discipline is what carries you to fluency and beyond. Motivation might help you get started, but only discipline will carry you all the way across the finish line. Let's take a closer look at a very common and relatable scenario. One day, you wake up feeling excited, energized, and ready to study English. You dive into an interesting video, listen attentively to an inspiring podcast, or challenge yourself to learn 10 new words. In that moment, you feel unstoppable, confident, and truly motivated. It's a fantastic feeling, like the whole world is within your reach. That initial spark of motivation provides the perfect push to begin your journey. However, as the days pass, the excitement often fades. The very next day, you might wake up feeling tired or distracted. Work might demand your attention, or life's unexpected interruptions might steal your focus. You simply don't feel like studying anymore. This drop in motivation is a critical point where many people give up entirely. They tell themselves, "I'll try again tomorrow," but too often that tomorrow never arrives. The reason is simple. They relied only on motivation, a force that's inherently temporary and unreliable. Discipline, on the other hand, is a completely different kind of power. When you develop discipline, you create a strong foundation that helps you say, "Even if I'm tired or stressed today, I will still spend at least a few minutes practicing, maybe 5, maybe 10. You commit to showing up no matter how you feel. This act of showing up consistently regardless of mood or circumstance is what builds genuine skill confidence and long-term progress. This practice of persevering even when you don't feel like it is especially important for English learners. Learning a new language is a marathon, not a sprint. Some days will be filled with enthusiasm and energy. Other days will test your patience and resolve. Discipline is the steady force that keeps you moving forward through the ups and downs of this journey. Let me share another example to illustrate this point. Imagine you've set a goal to speak English for 10 minutes every day. On day 1, you feel excited. You might talk to yourself in the mirror, record your voice, or chat with a friend online. By day 5, however, you may start feeling self-conscious or stuck. You might worry that you're not improving fast enough or that your pronunciation isn't good. These feelings can cause many learners to stop altogether. But with discipline, you push through those moments of doubt and say to yourself, I don't need to be perfect. I just need to keep practicing regularly. Over time, that small daily habit of speaking even for just 10 minutes turns into a powerful routine. After 30 days, you'll notice increased confidence in your speaking ability. After 60 days, your fluency will improve noticeably. This growth doesn't come from being motivated every day, but from your commitment to keep going, even when motivation wanes. Discipline also plays a crucial role when negative thoughts and self-doubt creep in. Many learners experience thoughts like, I'm too slow, my English isn't good enough, or I'm not making progress. These thoughts are natural but dangerous if allowed to dominate. Discipline means facing those doubts head-on and reminding yourself, I don't have to be perfect today. I only need to improve a little bit. It's this consistent small progress day after day that leads to lasting transformation. So yes, motivation might be the spark that gets you to watch your first English video or download your first language app, but discipline is the fuel that keeps you coming back. Motivation might inspire you to enroll in a class, but discipline ensures you show up, participate actively, and keep learning even when you're tired or unsure. If your dream is to speak English fluently, open new doors of opportunity, and build a better life, remember this: you don't need to feel motivated every single day. What you absolutely need is consistency and discipline. Discipline gives you that steady power to keep moving forward. It's not about being perfect or always feeling ready. It's about showing up, doing the work, and believing in your own potential. When you commit to showing up day after day, your progress will not only surprise you, it will inspire you to keep going even further. Practical tips to build discipline. Now that you have a clear understanding of how powerful discipline is, the next essential step is to learn how to cultivate and strengthen it in your everyday life. It's common for many people to think that discipline is a trait reserved only for the naturally strong-willed or the exceptionally talented, but that's a misconception. Discipline is not a fixed characteristic. It's a skill, a habit, that anyone can develop with time, patience, and intentional effort. It's not about being perfect or having endless motivation. It's about creating simple habits and sticking to them consistently even when you don't feel like it. Whether your goal is to improve your English, build healthier routines, or grow personally, these practical tips will guide you to build discipline step by step. 1. Create a routine. One of the most effective ways to build discipline is by creating a daily routine that turns your goals into regular habits. When you schedule a specific time for an activity, it becomes automatic, much like brushing your teeth or making your bed. For English learners, pick a consistent time each day dedicated exclusively to language practice. This could be right after waking up during your lunch break or just before going to bed. Even if it's just 10 or 15 minutes, this daily commitment signals to your brain that this activity is important. Over time, that routine becomes ingrained, reducing the mental effort needed to get started and helping you stay disciplined without relying on motivation. 2. Start small. Many people lose discipline because they try to do too much too soon. and become overwhelmed. The key is to start with small, achievable goals. For instance, instead of trying to study English for hours every day, begin with just 5 minutes. Watch a short video, learn a couple of new words, or write a sentence or two. These small actions are easier to maintain consistently and help you build momentum. Once the habit is solid, you can gradually increase the time and intensity. Remember, consistency is far more important than intensity. Even a little progress every day accumulates to significant growth over time. 3. Track your progress. Keeping track of your daily efforts can dramatically boost your discipline. Use a journal, a planner, an app, or a calendar to mark each day you complete your English practice. Seeing a streak of completed days provides a visual motivation to keep going and makes your progress tangible. This turns your learning into a rewarding challenge. Additionally, writing a daily sentence or paragraph in English and comparing it weekly or monthly can help you clearly see your improvement. Celebrating these small wins reinforces positive behavior and keeps your discipline strong. 4. Remove distractions. Distractions are one of the biggest obstacles to maintaining discipline. To protect your focused time, create an environment conducive to learning. Put your phone on silent or airplane mode, close all unrelated apps or tabs on your computer, and choose a quiet spot where interruptions are minimized. Inform those around you, family roommates, or co-workers that you need this time to focus on your studies. Even a short distraction-free session can be more productive than a longer interrupted one. By controlling your environment, you make it easier to stay disciplined and fully engaged in your practice. 5. Use accountability partners. Discipline is much easier to maintain when you have someone supporting you along the way. Find a study buddy, friend, classmate, or online partner who shares your goals. Share your commitments and progress with them regularly. This accountability creates mutual encouragement, helps you stay motivated, and builds a supportive community where you can exchange tips, celebrate successes, and overcome challenges together. Knowing someone else is counting on you can be a powerful motivator to stick to your routine and keep your discipline strong. For example, you might set a simple but powerful goal for yourself, such as I will speak English for 5 minutes every single day. This small commitment might seem easy to overlook, but it is actually a key step toward building lasting discipline. To make this process more effective, find a study partner, a friend, or even an online community member who is also learning English or working on a similar goal. Agree to check in with each other regularly, perhaps once a week or every few days, to share your progress, celebrate your successes, and encourage one another through any challenges. This sense of accountability creates a strong support system that keeps you motivated and responsible. It's like having a teammate or coach who gently pushes you forward, especially on days when you feel tired, distracted, or just not in the mood. Knowing someone else is counting on you can be a powerful motivator to stay consistent. Another critical tool in building discipline is positive self-talk. It's normal for your mind to throw up obstacles and excuses when you face challenges. You might catch yourself thinking, "I'm too exhausted today," or "I don't have the energy to study right now." When those thoughts arise, gently remind yourself just 5 minutes. This small, manageable goal lowers the psychological barrier to starting. Most often, once you begin, even if it's only for a short time, you find it easier to continue beyond those 5 minutes. However, even if you truly only manage to practice for 5 minutes, remember that this is still a meaningful victory. You have honored your commitment, built trust with yourself, and reinforced your discipline muscle. This process of small wins adds up over time, creating a powerful momentum that propels you forward. Let me share a personal story to illustrate this point. A few years ago, I decided to learn a new skill that excited me greatly. In the beginning, I was filled with enthusiasm and practiced for long stretches of time. But, as is common, that initial excitement gradually faded after a few weeks, and I found myself wanting to give up. I realized that relying solely on motivation was not sustainable. So I made a new plan. I will commit to just 10 minutes a day. On some days when motivation was low, I forced myself to do at least 5 or 10 minutes, no matter how little it felt. Slowly but steadily, my ability improved. Within a few months, friends and family noticed the difference, not because of occasional bursts of effort, but because I consistently showed up every day. This slow, steady, and quiet power of discipline transformed my progress and confidence. So if you are serious about learning English or making meaningful improvements in any area of your life, here's the most important message: motivation is unpredictable and can't be relied on every day. It will come and go with your mood, energy, and external circumstances. But discipline is a choice, a habit, and a mindset you can build and strengthen every day, regardless of how you feel. Those small, consistent daily actions, whether 5, 10, or 15 minutes, compound over time and lead to significant success. Every time you choose to show up, even on days when you're not feeling motivated, you are strengthening your discipline. And this is where true transformation begins. Real lasting change doesn't happen overnight or through a single moment of inspiration. Instead, it is the result of persistent, steady effort, applied day after day, week after week, month after month. Discipline turns your dreams into reality by creating habits that sustain your growth and learning throughout your life. Remember, the journey to mastering English or any other goal is a marathon, not a sprint. Motivation might get you started and provide that initial burst of energy. But discipline is what keeps you moving forward, especially when the excitement fades and the path gets challenging. So focus on cultivating discipline, celebrate your small wins, and keep showing up consistently. Your future self will thank you for it. How to stay motivated along the way. Now that we've fully explored the incredible power of discipline, the steady, consistent force that keeps you moving forward, when the going gets tough, it's essential to remember that motivation still plays a vital role in your personal journey. While discipline acts like the reliable engine powering your progress day after day, motivation is the energizing spark that fuels your enthusiasm and passion, especially on days when you feel drained, overwhelmed, or unmotivated. The challenge is learning how to maintain motivation without becoming dependent on it, because motivation is naturally fluctuating and unpredictable. Think of motivation as a small but powerful spark that can ignite a fire, but it's your discipline, the steady, enduring flame that keeps that fire burning strong over the long haul. Understanding this distinction helps you build a resilient mindset that allows you to push through challenges and stay focused on your goals. Here are several practical and effective strategies you can use to reignite and sustain your motivation throughout your journey, whether you're learning English, pursuing personal growth, or working toward any meaningful goal. Immerse yourself in inspiring content. One of the quickest ways to recharge your motivation is by listening to uplifting podcasts, watching motivational videos, or reading stories about success and perseverance. Sometimes, hearing someone else's real-life experiences or motivational talks can reignite your own inner fire. For English learners, this is a double win. You improve your language skills by absorbing authentic content, while also boosting your enthusiasm. Aim for content that inspires hope, confidence, and determination without overwhelming you. Even dedicating just 10 minutes each morning to a positive podcast or video can set an energizing tone for your entire day. Learn from success stories of people just like you. Reading or hearing about individuals who started with the same challenges and fears you have, people who once struggled to learn English or overcome obstacles, can serve as powerful reminders that your dreams are achievable. These success stories often begin with small steps and gradual progress, reinforcing that every expert was once a beginner. Such stories can inspire you to stay committed and remind you that your journey is possible, even if it sometimes feels hard or slow. Celebrate your achievements regularly. Rewarding yourself for sticking with your habits builds positive reinforcement and strengthens motivation. You don't need external validation to recognize your progress. Become your own biggest cheerleader. After a consistent week or two of effort, treat yourself in ways that bring you joy and relaxation, whether it's a favorite snack, watching a movie, spending time with loved ones, or anything else that feels rewarding. These small celebrations create positive emotional associations with your efforts, encouraging you to continue pushing forward. Reconnect with your core reasons and why. Revisiting the deeper purpose behind your goals is one of the most effective ways to renew your motivation. Take time to reflect on why you started your English learning journey or why your goals matter to you personally. Write down your reasons, whether it's traveling the world, pursuing a career, or gaining confidence and place, that reminder somewhere visible. Whenever you feel discouraged or distracted, reading your why can refocus your energy and reignite your commitment. Keeping your purpose front and center in your mind helps sustain motivation in the long run. Draw inspiration from real-life examples. I want to share a story about a friend of mine who had a dream to work overseas. She began learning English with enthusiasm and high hopes. However, after a few weeks, her busy schedule and daily pressures caused her motivation to decline, and she stopped practicing regularly. One day she glanced at a photo of the city where she wanted to live and work, and that image reignited her passion. She restarted her studies, maintaining a steady pace. Months later, she achieved her goal and landed the job she desired. This shows how reconnecting with your goals and purpose can breathe life back into your motivation even after setbacks. It's important to view motivation as a valuable ally, something you can call upon when needed, but not as the sole driver of your progress. Discipline will keep you on the path when motivation fades, but nurturing motivation intentionally helps you stay energized and inspired to take on new challenges. By balancing the steady strength of discipline with the refreshing boosts of motivation, you create a sustainable system that fosters continuous growth, resilience, and success. Whether your goal is to improve your English, learn a new skill, or transform your life, this balance will help you reach your destination and keep your passion alive throughout the journey. So yes, discipline is what keeps you going every single day, even when motivation fades or life throws challenges your way. Motivation is like a spark. It gets you started, lights your fire, and gives you that initial burst of energy. But discipline is the steady engine that keeps that fire burning bright day after day through all the ups and downs. It's discipline that turns your dreams into reality. Before we finish, I want to speak to you not just as your teacher or guide, but as someone who genuinely understands the journey you're on. Learning English, improving yourself, growing step by step, it's not always easy. There will be times when you feel exhausted, frustrated, or discouraged. Times when it feels like progress is slow or even non-existent. I want you to know that these feelings are normal. You are not alone. From the bottom of my heart, let me assure you, every single effort you make, no matter how small, every time you choose to take one more step instead of giving up, you are building the future you want. Discipline may feel difficult now, but it is the foundation of all success. It is what shapes the strongest, most confident, most capable version of yourself, the person you're meant to become. Think about anyone you admire. Maybe it's a fluent English speaker, a successful entrepreneur, or a respected leader. They didn't get there just because they felt motivated every day. What carried them through was discipline, their commitment to show up and do the work even when they didn't feel like it. They didn't quit when the excitement wore off. Instead, they took consistent small steps forward day after day. And you can do the same. Remember this, you are capable beyond what you imagine. You are growing, improving, and moving closer to your goals with each passing day. Even if it doesn't always feel that way, the very fact that you're watching this video shows your dedication. That is something to be incredibly proud of. Maybe your English isn't perfect yet. Maybe you don't feel like you're making fast progress. But the truth is, you are on the right path. Progress isn't about speed. It's about persistence. It's about having the courage to keep moving forward, even when it's hard. Let me share a story that might inspire you. A young man I know dreamed of speaking English fluently so he could work abroad. He didn't have money for expensive courses, didn't have native friends to practice with, and his internet connection was often unreliable. But he made a promise to himself, I will study at least 10 minutes every day, no matter what. He used free online videos, simple textbooks, and wrote down vocabulary in an old notebook. After a year of steady discipline, his English improved dramatically. He started helping others learn too, and now he teaches English online to learners around the world. His success wasn't about luck or constant motivation, it was built on discipline. So please don't give up. Your journey is yours alone, and it's perfectly fine to go at your own pace. What matters most is that you never quit. Discipline is like planting a seed and nurturing it every day. Over time, it grows into a strong, beautiful tree that can weather any storm. One day, you'll look back and be thankful you stayed the course. Here's your reminder from all of us. At PowerHab English, keep showing up. You are stronger than you think. You are becoming the person you want to be, one small action, one step at a time. And always remember, we believe in you. If this video has helped you or inspired you in any way, please like it, subscribe to PowerHab English, and share it with others who are on their own learning and growth journey. Your support means everything to us. It helps more people discover these tools, find their motivation and discipline, and change their lives just like you are doing. Now, I want to hear from you. Write a comment below telling me one disciplined action you will commit to today. Maybe it's watching an English lesson, writing down 5 new words, or practicing speaking for just a few minutes. Whatever it is, make the commitment, write it down, and take that first step. Until we meet again, take care, keep practicing, and remember, every small effort counts. I'll see you in the next video here at PowerHab English, where together we grow stronger and reach our dreams.